Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It's time for my October update, where we'll go through every movie I picked up, everything I watched, and hopefully we'll see that watch pile come down a good chunk. Now, October was a surprisingly light month for me, thankfully so, which allowed me to get a lot done, so to speak. So let's dive into the movies that I got this month. So first up, Death Game, which was from Grindhouse Releasing, part of Radiance. This was terrific. Really liked this film. A lot more than the remake, Knock Knock. This disc is ridiculously rammed with stuff. It's got a whole other movie on it, Little Miss Naughty, which was terrific as well. It's got hours of extras. It is just like a really impressive package all in. From Radiance, We Still Killed Owe. It was another Elio Petri film, and I really like this one as well, especially when they're working with Volonte, who I think just is terrific anyway. It's a kind of almost political thriller mystery. Another cracker. From Vinegar Syndrome, you got The Forgotten Gialli for Volume 7 set, which has 3 films. Mystery, which stars the woman who is the lead of For Your Eyes Only. I forget her name at the moment. She plays a call girl in amongst a bunch of call girls being bumped off because it turns into a kind of espionage thriller type of thing, because there is a microfilm that one of them has stolen from somebody in a small trinket, and now people are out to kill them. It's really kind of fun. I like this one a lot. It looks great. It's very 80s, but a lot of fun. Obsession, A Taste of Fear. The second movie in this was a kind of giallo sci-fi movie set in the art world. Very cold. I found it hard to warm to any of the characters at all. Although the movie's fine and the reviews are good, it just being in that art world where everything is aesthetics and lacking of substance, the film comes across like that. And finally, we had Sweets from a Stranger in this set, which was terrific. Again, we have a bunch of prostitutes who are being killed by a serial killer. They kind of band together and try to create a unit to protect themselves. They're investigating. It just, for a film with that kind of subject matter, it was really great to see these women kind of come together rather than fighting, and create a kind of sisterhood and try to solve everything that was going on in their lives. And it's got an amazing reveal at the end of it. It really was phenomenal. Caught me off guard. I had no idea. Loved it. Also from Vinegar Syndrome, we have the 4K of Corpse Mania, a Shaw Brothers movie with one hell of a kind of plot summary. A necrophiliac serial killer is picking off prostitutes again in a period set Asian giallo. I liked it. It just didn't live up to what I was kind of hoping was going to be like a Cat 3 inspired horror film for the icky kill sequences. Still good. Some really nice framing in this one, a great score. We have The Ghost Dance, which is a kind of Native American slasher from the early 80s from Vinegar Syndrome, and it was fine, just fine, nothing special about it. Next up, we have The Tenant, Roman Polanski's film on 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, and the unnecessary kind of weird box that they have here. Booklet, all the extras. Love this film. I hadn't seen it before, didn't know anything about it, but the idea of paranoia throughout it was just wonderful. Really kind of, perfect. And yesterday, just in time for Halloween, I got Late Night with the Devil on 4K from Second Sight Films. I threw it on, really enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of Ghost Watch, which is still my preferred of the two if I have to compare. But I enjoyed Late Night with the Devil, and I've got a review coming for that very soon. And last but not least, my favourite pickup for this month was Nightmare on Elm Street on 4K. I've not delved into the extras as yet, but the film, the transfer was amazing. It just I just wish there was a Blu-ray with it as well. I hate these 4K only packages, but I can't complain about the film. It was perfect, looked amazing. And that's pretty much everything that I've picked up in October. 10 movies. Just 10. Just, it was a lot less than normal, and I'm kind of happy about that. Let's dive into Letterboxd and see what I watched. So, Slumber Party Massacre. Got the 4K discs for this from 101 Films for a screener review. I've seen this quite a few times. I like it. It was fine. It's one that I go back to often because it's such a quick watch, and it doesn't do anything wrong in the kind of slasher film genre. It doesn't do anything super great either. It's just one of those comforting, easy to watch movies. Death Game, which I spoke about, I enjoyed. Slumber Party Massacre 2 was a first time watch for me. I hadn't experienced this one before, and looking into the film after watching it, it really had a kind of rough landing. A lot of people don't like this one. I found it to be incredibly fun and silly and really enjoyable, yet preferred it to the original. By a Man's Face, Shall You Know Him? It was a Radiance film that I still had to review. It was one from almost a year ago. I picked it up, or the start of this year, and loved it. Another Tai Kato film. That's 4 in the Radiance range, and all of them are great. Little Miss Innocence was on the Death Game disc, which I again kind of briefly touched on. I liked that. We Still Kill the Old which was great, and that film there brought me up to date with Radiance. So my Radiance playlist, I have reviewed every film they've released. Great. Exterminators of the Year 3000 was one I watched with the guys on Discord, which was really kind of fun. I really do enjoy that kind of movie of it's supposed to be weak, but whenever it occurs, depending on my current mood, that was an enjoyable watch. Was it a great film? No, but watching it with the guys on Discord and just the chit chat and the jokes and everything just made it terrific. And then Ryan on Discord has his own Discord channel where he kind of highlights some movies. And I finally got to see The House with Laughing Windows, which I thought was phenomenal, which is great. Fight Back to School 3 rounded off that trilogy set, which I still had to finish. I liked it more than 2. It was fine. I've already dropped the review for Black Pit of Dr. M. It's from the Mexico Macabre set. I really liked this one. It was just, everything about it was just fantastically well done. Loved it. Intrepidos Punks, which was part of the 2-pack set from Vinegar Syndrome, was rough. Not really any plot to it, kind of aimless, just trying to be shocking and exploitation. Fine, but it needed more substance to really raise the top. The Brainiac was probably my least favourite film from the Mexico Macabre set. I still enjoyed it. It's still good. Shaolin Kung Fu from the Cinematic Vengeance set from Eureka was me getting back into the Joseph Kyoe set. I put this off for such a long time. It took me so long to get through this set because I hit a couple of speed bumps that just stopped me from watching it. Shaolin Kung Fu was one of those movies that made me eager to go on and check the rest of them. Loved it. Fantastic action. Great story. Just a really fun, chop-socky film. Goosebumps. I was on holiday. My kids like it. I've watched it multiple times. We've read all the Goosebump books together. So this film really does encapsulate all of that kind of first few books into the story, which I think's terrific. The Witch's Mirror was next up in Mexico Macabre, which was a really good revenge story. The Curse of the Crying Woman finished the set off and was really good as well. The Sadness. I loved The Sadness. I thought it was terrific. A lot of people seem to be kind of saying it's not as great as they expected. It's not the best film ever. It's not. It's lacking a lot of substance when it comes to the characters, but for sheer maniacal glee and bloodlust, is fun. Easy to watch, kind of shocking in parts, something I'm going to enjoy showing other people. The 18 Bronzemen was me continuing the Joseph Coy set. Finally, got one more movie to go now, which was great. 3 trainee monks trying to become the best kung fu people they can have to take on the 18 Bronzemen, and then we throw in a little bit of an extra story at the end. It's pretty much all montages and learning their craft, which I really enjoyed. Dream a Little Dream was a movie from my youth that I so disappointed. I used to love. I have fond memories of loving this film. I can't remember a thing about it. Threw it on, and it just felt a product of its time. It made me a little bit sad, because it wasn't as much as I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. Vengeance of the Punks was the sequel to Intrepidos Punks and was the better movie, in my opinion, because it had a story, which was very interesting and very fun. Basic revenge story. One of the cops from the first movie, they kill all his family, leave him alive to suffer, and he goes for vengeance. The ending's awful. The last 30 seconds, just awful. The Nightmare on Elm Street, okay, which I got a little like on that one. Fantastic, absolutely perfect. Corpse Mania, a solid 3 out of 5. Decent enough movie. But, I kind of wanted more gore and ickiness in this one. The Suspect, I finally dove into the, 4 film noir classics volume 2 set. And that was the first one when it was Charles Lawton. Real kind of fun story, great performances, really well shot. Dagger Eyes, otherwise known as Mystery, was from the Forgotten Gialli Volume 7 set. I kind of liked it. Not great, but a kind of interesting late Gialli. The Ghost Dance was fine, that Native American slasher. Speech from a Stranger, which was probably my favourite from that set, as I said. The Tenant, which I really enjoyed. Obsession from the Gialli set, which was fine. Thunder on the Hill. I think I'm missing. I'm missing a movie here I've not logged. I've not logged The Sleeping City, which was a kind of hospital set noir movie, which was really good as well. Thunder on the Hill, which was really great. I think it might be my favourite from this set because I had no idea where it was going. It's set in a kind of hospital on a hill where nuns operate, looking after people. Someone has stopped over there as there is a storm going on. It's a woman who's been convicted of the murder of her husband and is on way to complete her sentence. One of the nuns has a feeling that she's kind of innocent and investigates over the next night. Great film. I really enjoyed that one. Venom: The Last Dance. I went to cinema to see that. Completely forgettable, silly, but it had kind of funny moments. And Six Bridges to Cross was great, based on a true heist story. It's a kind of fictionalized retelling of the police officer and the criminal involved and how they spent 20 years getting to know each other, leading up to this heist. Fun. I dove into the Pete Walker set from 88 Films with Die Screaming Marianne, which was a kind of Giallo-esque film. Kind of, I would say. I really enjoyed this one. And I like how it doesn't lay the plot out for you straight away. It gives you all these different kind of sequences that tie together and then slowly reveals what people's motivations were, which I felt kept the story really fresh and builds up to a kind of interesting cat and mouse finale. Late Night with the Devil, which I got yesterday, threw on and enjoyed. It was fun, very much like Ghost Watch. Like I said, I feel like I need to compare the two, but I shouldn't really. Late Night with the Devil was its own kind of thing, and I did enjoy that as well. And I finished off Halloween with The Flesh and Blood Show, which was a very typical proto-slasher, where a group of actors are brought to a place at the end of a pier where they're going to rehearse and work on a play, and they start getting picked off one by one. Simple plot, and you know what? It was what it was. It wasn't outstanding. It wasn't bad. It was completely and utterly fine. sometimes that's just enough. That's everything I watched this month. So, for the numbers, I got 10 films this month. I managed to watch 30 discs amongst other movies, and that brought my total from 239 down to 219, which is the lowest it's been all year. I would love to get it under 200 by the end of the year, and it seems plausible, kind of. I have picked up a couple of 88 Films 4K discs that were on sale yesterday. Ones that I have seen before, but I'll quickly watch them, may review them, may not, like Absurd, Atrophagus, and I picked up Count Dracula 4K, which I hadn't seen, with Christopher Lee, Jess Franco movie. So I'll check that one out. I also dipped into the Indicator sale, where I picked up 5 titles. But I think I'll do a little unboxing for that when it comes, just to show you what I picked up. And there is currently a Criterion sale on now. I've already spent more in the past week than what I have in the past 4 months on movies, and it feels a little bit much. And the Criterion ones are really expensive, but I've been looking at a couple. I looked at the Freaks set, the Todd Browning horror film, the trio. I mean, I want that. It looks like a great release. I'll probably pick that up. Even with the 40% off, still is £24, which is expensive. I looked at Blowout 4K, Defending Your Life, which is a movie I wanted to revisit for the longest time. And I was looking at Lone Star, maybe Raging Bull. But even with 40% off in the Criterion sale, it's still bloody expensive. And you put things in a basket and then you see the total and you're like, can't hit buy. So I will mull over the Criterion sale. I can see me probably picking up Defending Your Life, because that works out just like £10, which is fine. And I possibly will pick up the Freaks set, but we'll see. Let's dive into the Blu-ray releases this month. So there are quite a few notable titles here, but I'm not going to jump in a lot of them straight out. The Third Man, I love. The big 4K set is expensive. It's something I would like. I'm not buying that. I don't need that. There is The Sword and the Sorcerer in 4K from 101 Films, which is an Albert Pyun film. I would like to see that at some point, but I don't need it immediately. Got Blazing Saddles in 4K. We have The Wizard of Oz in 4K because the Wicked is about to come out. We have Gummo coming, which is Harmony Korine's film from Criterion. None of these which I'm picking up. Let's move into the 11th of November. We have The Blair Witch Project, which, yes, I love that film. I wish I'd got it for Halloween. I'm looking forward to check it out. The biggest title from this month, the Louis Feuillade set, which is a monster, which I'm really wanting. Hopefully I'll get that one, because it is pricey as well. Haxan, which I've wanted to see for years, is coming from Radiance. Let's see what else there is going on. On to the 18th of November, we got a 4K of Seven Samurai. Fun fact, I've never seen Seven Samurai. Just leave that out there for you guys to berate me on. We have North by Northwest 4K coming out, which is another terrific Hitchcock film. The Pryor and Wilder set, I may pick up, depending on how my film watching is going, how many I've picked up this month. I will probably hold off on that. I love Stir Crazy and See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Another You, I don't really remember too much. I will be getting that at some point. We have Panic in Year Zero from Radiance, yep. The Story of Adele H, yep. And Japan Organised Crime Boss, hopefully get all those. Juggernaut, I've been waiting to see for years. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one. Black Tuesday, which, yeah, Masters of Cinema, of course. The Slumber Party Massacre 4K set from 101 Films, which I have reviewed. The first part, I reviewed. The second part, probably closer to the release date. It's definitely a set worth picking up if you're a horror fan. We've got The Sword from Eureka, which looks pretty great as well. The Slap the Monster on Page 1 from Radiance, yep. Super Spies and Secret Lies from Eureka. Looks particularly amazing. So yeah, and let's see, we're on to 25th of November. You've got Watership Down 4K. I've not seen that in years. Like everybody else, it was one of those things that just traumatized me as a kid. We have The Legend of Fong Sai-yuk on 4K. We've got Tank Girl from Eureka, which, yes, hell yes. Black Cat 2 from 88 Films, which I've got a review coming up for. Yeah, it's probably not one you don't want to jump on straight away. I mean, the first movie was a kind of rip-off of Nikita, the film Nikita, and that one is worse. Eyeball in 4K, one of my favourite Italian giallo films. I will get that at some point. Now, as I said, 88 Films had a 4K sale yesterday where they dropped the price of their 4Ks to £15. I mean, when they came out, they're expensive. I'm happy to wait and get a little bit of a reduction in price, but I will be adding Eyeball 4K to the collection at some point. There seems to be a standard release of it, so there must be 2 releases. Yeah, I'll pick one up at some point. What else do we have here? With the From Beyond 4K coming out, which if you haven't seen From Beyond, is great, and the 4K is tremendous. Came out in Vinegar Syndrome last year, so I got that. And that seems to be everything. So I probably look at the Eureka releases, the Radiance releases, Blair Witch Project, and I think I kind of like trying to keep it light because I've got the Indicator sale coming, because I have the 4K UHDs from 88 Films coming. I don't really want to see that watch pile go up too much because I like getting it down. I've enjoyed this month, and getting it down has been enjoyable. So there we have it. That's what I picked up. That's what I watched this month. What have you picked up? What have you watched? Anything notable there? Anything you're looking forward to getting next month? Did you partake in the Indicator sale? Are you going to partake in the Criterion sale? Let me know what you're picking up. Let's get some FOMO going if we can in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon membership program, manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support. Thanks for watching. See you next time.